It's that time, episode 5 of Survivor. Let's go. So last week, Matt was evicted. Let's see who was evicted this Wednesday. Evicted, voted off the island, whatever. When they get back from Tribal and they're sitting there coddling Jason, he's on the bottom. He got the votes, and everyone's like, oh, here, let's give you hugs. It's okay. No, it's not. He's on the bottom. Everybody talking about, let's get to the merge now. Yay. All hunky-dory. It's not, though. Jason's in trouble. He is the only one from the old Hina tribe, and with them doing that chant coming in before they made the tribe swap, he's in trouble because he was a part of that chant, so it is obvious where his loyalty lies. And has anybody seen the discourse online going around about Shannon and how over-dramatic she is and how fake she is? If nothing else, she's polarizing, so she's definitely getting people's attention. But a couple of the people on the island have already called her out. Sage, Steven, Savannah clocked it at the beginning too. So we'll see how long the woo-woo lasts for her. This girl is literally talking to Steven. And he doesn't like her. Not that he doesn't like her. He doesn't trust her because he thinks that she's fake. So Shannon's going to get herself in deep trouble because they have already clocked the fact that she's a little fake. But the spiritual, overlay that she's putting on top of everything and, how thick she's laying it on, it's bothering people. It's rubbing them the wrong way. But she's also playing a little too hard, a little too soon. They just hit this beach. And there's already people who don't have a good vibe with her. So with her playing as hard as she is, she's going to get herself in trouble. I really feel for Christina because this is when the game gets hard, is once you've made those emotional connections with people, you're still playing a game and you might have to vote them out. So how do you navigate those feelings and cutting those feelings off and just being cold-hearted enough to go to the end and win? They're literally talking about their favorite Pokemon. Jason and Jawan. Jason likes Mudkip, and Jawan likes Totodile. And then Cyndaquil is the other one that's his favorite. That's so funny. My favorite is Dragonite. Oh my god, Jawan took her water bottle. Savannah's water bottle. And this is not the first time he took her bag. She's so irritated. Oh no. And this is honest mistakes this guy's making. And I wonder if it's because of the lack of food. She's not giving any. Ooh, she says now they're beefing. Yikes. Uh-oh. And Jason's like, just her stuff? That's weird. It seems like it's premeditated, or intentional. Sage is cracking me up. She is over Shannon. Sage is really calling her out. And I love this because it's in the little confessional individual talks. She tries to do whatever she can to connect with anybody, and Sage is seeing it and calling it out. That's 2 people that have called her a shark now. Sage called her a shark, and so did Steven. Hey, at least they're telling us in the confessionals their train of thought, because otherwise we'd be like, oh, do you guys not see what we see? They do, and they're trying to clue us in as viewers that they also see it. Oh, shit. Sage is overhearing Alex and Steven talking. Oh, my God. She told them that, hey, I can hear you, essentially. So now they brought her into the convo. She's like, oh, my God. She's acting like she's surprised. They're all literally talking about it now, finally. Sage is freaking out. She's like, oh, my God, it's about time. She called her a shark openly to Steven and Alex. She's playing on people's vulnerabilities. That's exactly what she's doing. They told her that she was okay with voting out Sage. Oh, she's excited. Oh, she just lit a fire under her ass. They're talking about watching mukbangs. That's so funny. A lot of people do watch it. I like the mukbangs too. I like to do them. I think it's funny. My husband does too. Ooh, they got a letter off of a boat. What do we got? One person's got to go get on the boat. MC is going out for their team. Oh my God. Jawan shifted that around to where Nate won purposefully. He intentionally put the white rock on top so that Jason and Savannah couldn't go. So now Nate is going on the little off-road water boat adventure as well. Now, this is really cool for Jawan. For people who don't watch Survivor, that was a tribal cancel. That was a final move. I don't know how to explain this. That was a move that you make to bank to explain when you're at the final 3 why you should win. That was a Survivor winning moment right there, what he just did. Okay, so it looks like they have to move sandbags and work together before the timer runs out. If they finish, they get their tribal council vote. If not, they lose their vote. A whole lot of sandbags on the sandy beach with the timer that's running out very quickly. Those sandbags have to at least be 20 or 30 pounds each. And there's probably about 100 bags, like she said. They are working really well together, and if they can successfully complete this, that will solidify some type of bond, relationship, potential alliance for once they do come to the merge later on. And MC already has the Beware advantage, so she doesn't have a vote at the moment. So she's essentially double digging herself out of the grave right now, trying to get her vote back. They're doing really well. It looks like about half of the time has gone out, and they're about halfway through, but they are slowing down. Nate is smart because he's starting to get tired, so he's trying to bond. He's trying to get personable with her and relatable and get, again, that bond built. So here they are talking about how much suffering they're doing on the hot beach, moving these sandbags, and all they want to do is take a nap. And quite literally everybody else on the tribe is back at camp taking a nap. Uh-oh, MC just saw a note. She called Nate back. She's like, hurry, get back here, get back here. Hidden nearby under a rock inside the canopy of trees is an advantage, but only one person gets it. Oh, the other person has to finish the sandbags on their own in order to keep their vote, but if the other person finds it, then they just get their vote. Oh my gosh, so if the timer runs out and they haven't finished it on their own, they lose their vote. So now at this point, do they risk going and looking for the advantage, or do they just finish? Yeah, that's smart. So Nate basically pitched, let's finish all of the sandbags. We're both guaranteed to have our vote. Leave one for the last person to move their sandbag, and then it leaves it till the very end for them to go search for the advantage. This was very smart on Nate's part. MC would have taken him, and if she would have just, trusted herself and gone for it, she could have had it. All right, they're looking for the advantage. They dropped the last sandbag off about 3/4 of the way across the finish line. And now they're searching the forest. Oh my gosh, he's telling her that we're running out of time. Uh-oh. Nate basically got her back, and she's tired, and they ended it. No one found the advantage. Oh, here they go. Sage is like, time to gameplay. Shannon walked off on her own, and she's with the rest of the tribe. She's pitching her. Oh shit, she just told the whole tribe that Rizzo has the advantage. So she's basically using this to throw Shannon under the bus too, because Shannon has this information as well and hasn't shared it with anybody. It's really funny to watch Shannon and Sage talking one-on-one. Shannon is so oblivious, and there's Sage just making faces over her shoulder as she hugs her. I feel like that's how I would be if I was out there. I'd be like, yeah, of course. Hug, hug, hug to the camera. The fakeness is beyond me, but hey, if it gets you to the end. So Nate basically told them that it was just keep your vote or lose your vote. He didn't even mention the advantage part. Told them that there was not an advantage part. So I wonder if he's going to tell Jawan about that later on. Savannah is so annoyed with Jawan. So Savannah has now pitched Jawan to Rizzo, to Sophie, and to Nate. But she's also kind of exposing herself by saying, oh, I want a little bit of revenge for the bag thing, for the water bottle thing. Like, these people don't realize that they're also telling on themselves. Because if the person that they're telling this to is listening clearly enough, and mind you, they haven't had food, they're totally sleep deprived, their muscles are probably like crying for some kind of nutrients at this point, not to mention their brain, they may or may not like pick up on that they're telling them that this could potentially be how they treat them later on. Immunity challenge. Ooh, this one's gonna be super physically demanding. They have to literally pick up this entire bamboo cage, carry it through the waters of Fiji, bring it up onto the beach, and then climb like under it. That's wild. And then they have to shoot 3 baskets to win. And of course, this is to determine who goes to tribal council, but there's also a reward. They can hear the chickens clucking already. That's pretty cool. So the live chickens have been offered up as a reward, of course, to whoever which team wins. And of course, if they lose, they will have their flint taken away. And Hina has never had flint this entire game. This is the 6th person to go home. 6 tribal councils with no flint. Woo! Oh, I love it. Christina's so smart. She is sat out on the bench as the only person sitting out. So she is scouring the bench right now while everybody is trying to swim to get to the cage thing that they have to carry. Everybody's distracted. Now is the time to look for advantages. And it looks like Hina is pulling away with the lead right now. But as we know in Survivor, any wrong move can change things dramatically and very quickly. And it looks like the blue team pulled ahead. They made it to the beach first. But now they have to get it through the sand, and the blue ones are still taking the lead. You can just see how physically exhausted all of these people are. Oh, they've got it there. The yellow tribe is having a hell of a time. They are moving it. They're making progress. They're getting there. They've all got their game faces on. Whoa. This is why you can never give up in Survivor, because you never know what's going to happen. The other team is still digging. And the yellow team just made it. Well, they kind of made it. They have to back it up a little bit because they went a little too far. But now they're digging as well. All right, they finally got someone that made it under the cage, and now they're on to shooting the hoops. Oh, I take that back. They have to untie the balls first. But it looks like Jason is almost out from under their cage. So they have to shoot the baskets from inside the cage. So all they have to do is just get the one person out to go unlock the balls for them to throw, and then the person to go run and chase the ball, of course. Both teams have someone out of the cage, and they're each shooting their shots. They have to make 3. And yellow scored! And blue scored. And blue scored again. Oh, yellow just missed. Ouch, Sophie got hit in the face. They made the second one. Each team is on their last ball. All they have to do is make it in the net. And the blue team just won it. Oh, man. And Sophie just took a fist to the face when the ball was being caught. Oh, that is so heartbreaking for Sophie, because she has been on every single losing team since this started. She's been to every single tribal council. That poor girl. Oh, Savannah's crying. She's crying about the fact that she's not had any food. She's not had flint. She's not had any coconuts. This is crazy. She's crying over the fact that even Sophie hasn't had food or flint from the beginning. It's just overwhelming, and she's at her breaking point. Now, the team that won the chickens, 4 of them, is also the team that has the woo-woo spiritual girl who has to, like, pray over everything they eat and say her, you know, whatever, well wishes and thank yous to the item before they eat it. And she's got to involve everybody. And that's what's driving people nuts. Are they going to end up eating these chickens? That's what they're there for. Or are they just going to keep them to lay eggs? We'll see. And they're back, and they're already talking about the chickens. Shannon said it's going to be a process for her. They're talking about who can kill it and can't kill it. They're talking about making it a rotisserie chicken. Uh-oh, they're saying, here's a reward, but here's some farm chores. Oh my gosh, they don't want to kill the chicken. And there's Shannon thanking it for its life force energy. Oh no, so Alex and Steven are going to have to be the ones to snap its neck. Oh. Sage had pet chickens, so she's covering her ears and walking away. Oh. Well, they did it. They did it. Oh, the guys are like being there for each other, which is really, really sweet. They're talking about living in a high-rise and doing DoorDash and things like that, and never having to do anything like that in their life. And now they are pulling its feathers. Oh, and the rest of the chickens are just watching. I'm loving this for Alex, though. He's like, to all the people who called me soft, are you on Survivor killing chickens? I can only imagine how Steven and Alex feel having accomplished that, but also there's the bittersweet part of like having to be the ones to actually physically do that. So Jawan and Jason are talking about possibly going after Rizzo. But it also looks like Jawan is trying to make Jason comfortable so he doesn't play his shot in the dark. But Sophie is also by herself, and they all know that she is gassed. She has gone to every single tribal council. The girl has not had any food in 10 plus days. She's exhausted. So they're also talking about voting out Jawan if Jason happens to play his shot in the dark. Savannah doesn't like him. Savannah's also starting to get a little apprehensive about the old Hina tribe. She's afraid that they're all going to come after them and think of it as like a shot taken if they get rid of Jason because he is, from the old tribe. I will give this to Savannah. She has that it factor when it comes to like motivating someone, talking them up to kind of give them the confidence to be like, oh yeah, I am a bad bitch. Or in Jason's case, I am a powerful ass guy. I've got all this influence, all of this help and support on the other team. Is all he has to do is make it to the merge. Yep, and he even said it. What Savannah helped make me realize. But that also might have just ignited the spark for him to take it all the way, and that could go to her detriment. So Nate and Savannah are talking about basically running this, and Savannah's saying that she's glad that he pitched Jawan because she doesn't want to take control. She doesn't want the blood on her hands, essentially, which is really good. Jawan is very condescending to Savannah as well, so I can understand why she's irritated with him. It seems like the things that he's doing is intentional. It's giving little brother vibes, and she doesn't like it. She also doesn't trust him, and she thinks he's gonna flip. Savannah is playing a really good game, and she's playing present moment, obviously, but she's playing long game. She's looking in the future as to like what this move could potentially do, what this move could potentially do, because it's all a domino effect. As soon as one domino is pushed and something happens, that's when that takes effect, and that whole, row goes, essentially, to follow the analogy, but they're a tribal, so let's see. I think Sophie's doing a really good job of like playing the, feel sorry for me, I have no food, I'm just happy to be here, I'd like to at least experience what Survive is like with some flint and some fire. So she's doing a good job of like laying low, essentially. So we'll see if it is Jason or Jawan. I have a feeling it's not going to be Jason. I think Jawan could potentially be going home. Again, another awesome tribal council moment, talking about how they play compare and contrast while they're on the island, because they're like, am I, the best player? Maybe not, but am I the best person? They're being questioned. Are basically questioning themselves because they have nothing but time to sit with themselves and their thoughts. That's why most people can't handle this. There's a mental aspect to each one of these reality TV show games that I personally love, because there's also this social aspect of it, because you have to interact with all these random strangers from all different walks of life, but you're all experiencing the same situation, environment, but everyone is interacting and experiencing it differently in their own individual ways because of where we come from, how we were raised, what we think, what we perceive. Everybody walks through life differently. And I love Survivor Tribal Councils for allowing that, like, open discussion, safe space, if you will. Jeff is a great conductor of, like, facilitator, I should say, of, like, allowing those conversations to happen, because he gives a safe space. Everybody feels safe with, as Jawan is calling him, Uncle Jeff. So it's interesting to me that, again, Tribal Council, the things that come out and are said, it's very raw moments, because these people are, again, kind of like Savannah said, running on like nothing. Their brains are mush. So their thoughts are completely unfiltered right now. And to the point where they're not making the most coherent sense sometimes, because the the lack of food and sleep gets to them, but when they do express their opinions and their real vulnerable like moments like this of, you know, I could potentially be going home, I could be losing my shot at $1 million right now. They're tapping into whatever they've got left in the tank for that time being. And so with them, they said, Nate just said, sorry, I got a text message I thought I was waiting on. I got super distracted. Give me 1 second. Okay, so what I was trying to say was Nate had made a comment about if you can't be honest out here, then you're toast. Well, it's funny to me because this is one of the most dishonest playing games. You have to be dishonest and deceitful and strategic and a little maniacal at times and deceiving to make it to the end, more times than not. However, when it comes to these tribal councils, this is when people become the most vulnerable. And Survivor, again, same with Big Brother, I think, in my opinion, the two most extremely interesting games and like insightful games if you want to learn about how people like interact with others on a day-to-day basis, socialism. Watch Survivor, watch Big Brother, because there's so much. These are not games built on trust. If anything, it's the complete opposite. But you have to be so honest if you want to build any kind of trust. If you want to have any kind of longevity, you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be authentic. And if you're not, it's going to show. And I think that's kind of what he's trying to say in a roundabout way. But again, tribal council is one of those places where the most vulnerable expressions come out. And with that, is it time to vote? Here we go. They didn't show who Jason voted for or Nate. They did show Savannah writing J-A, and that could have been Jason or Jawan. That's it. Now we're going to tally them. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to be Jawan that's going home, given the way that they were talking about having confidence in yourself and being, you know, a partner that they want. They want them to have confidence in themselves. I kind of feel like he might be going home. No advantages were played. It's time to read the votes. Spoilers ahead. Oh shit, Rizzo got a vote. 1 for Jason. 2 for Jason. And another. It's not looking good for Jason. No, he's the 6th person out. Darn. Now, Rizzo, on the other hand, is going to be like, my name was written down. He's not going to like that feeling. He's the young, eager one. However, it is another Survivor moment that he is probably going to relish in, but it's also probably going to maybe up his paranoia a bit. Because once your name's been mentioned once, it's easy to mention it again.